Did Yellowstone's Josh Lucas study Kevin Costner? Josh Lucas portrays the young John Dutton in Yellowstone. Does the Sweet Home Alabama star study Kevin Costner to do his portrayal? His answer may surprise fans of the Paramount Network series. Does Josh Lucas study Kevin Costner? In Yellowstone, Kevin Costner portrays John Dutton, the patriarch of the Dutton family ranch in Montana. Josh Lucas portrays a younger version of John Dutton. This is essentially a younger version of Kevin Costner. Therefore, does he study Costner, who was just nominated for a Golden Globe for this very portrayal? Speaking to Parade, he revealed that there was not much for him to go on when he first came to the show. However, this changed when Lucas returned for Season 5. Then he became obsessed. Next, Josh focused on Kevin Costner's gruff voice for his role of John Dutton. Therefore, the Mysteries of Laura Starr admitted that he tried to do homage to what Kevin is doing vocally and his movements, and there's different little ticks that I see Kevin does as John Dutton that I don't think he does in any of his other movies. What Yellowstone role did Josh Lucas audition for? When Josh Lucas auditioned for Yellowstone, it was not for the role of John Dutton. Instead, he auditioned for the role of one of John's sons that eventually went to Luke Grimes, Case, and Wes Bentley, Jamie. However, Josh Lucas did not back down. He admitted to stalking the talented showrunner by sending him texts and not allowing Sheridan to forget him. Eventually, Sheridan did call Lucas back. In that call, he asked Lucas if he could get to Montana the next day. Sheridan wanted Josh Lucas to portray John Dutton from 20 years ago. Taylor Sheridan had plans for Lucas for Yellowstone Season 5. When Josh Lucas got the role of the younger John Dutton, Taylor Sheridan warned him that there would not be much for him to film for the first 4 seasons. However, he revealed that there would be a lot in Season 5. Lucas admitted that he thought, this guy's crazy, he's just crazy. This was a new show, and he knew that they would be lucky if it survived 2 seasons, let alone get to the 5th season. Now Lucas is just counting his blessings that he is on one of the top television shows. When Josh Lucas joined the cast of Yellowstone in its prequel series 1923, and later appeared in the original show as a younger version of John Dutton, the question arose: did he study Kevin Costner's portrayal of the iconic character? Given the weight and gravity of Costner's portrayal of John Dutton, the patriarch of the Dutton family, it was clear that Lucas had some significant acting shoes to fill. But how did he approach this challenge? The weight of legacy. For Josh Lucas, the opportunity to portray a younger version of a character that Kevin Costner had so famously made his own must have come with both excitement and pressure. The relationship between the two actors, both well regarded in their own right, was not so much about copying a performance as it was about interpreting it. Lucas, with his talent and experience, sought not to imitate Costner, but rather to channel the essence of the character in a way that felt authentic to both 1923 and Yellowstone. Lucas himself has spoken about how he saw the role of John Dutton as a challenge, and one that he didn't take lightly. In interviews, he made it clear that while he wasn't necessarily trying to mimic Costner's every move, he was certainly influenced by the characterization that Costner had already established. There's no denying that Costner's John Dutton is a complex, multifaceted character. He is stoic, commanding, fiercely protective of his family, and often cold. Costner's portrayal gives John an edge, a roughness that speaks of years of weathering the harsh realities of life on the Dutton Ranch. But Lucas' portrayal of the younger John Dutton brought a slightly different energy to the character, one rooted in the earlier years of John's life, where the same sense of duty and strength was there, but with more room for vulnerability. Finding the balance, while Josh Lucas undoubtedly studied Kevin Costner's performance in Yellowstone, He also relied on his own interpretation and instincts. Lucas sought to understand not just the physicality of John Dutton, but the emotional core that made him tick. His John was less about duplicating Costner's gravely voice or his deliberate pauses, and more about understanding the heart of the man. What drove John Dutton? What shaped him into the fierce protector he became? These were the questions that Lucas explored in preparation for his role. In creating his version of John, Lucas drew inspiration from the world of Yellowstone and 1923, focusing on the formative years of the Dutton family. The difference in the time periods presented an opportunity for Lucas to explore the character with a sense of youth and optimism, things that Costner's John Dutton had long since abandoned in the later years of his life. This sense of hopefulness contrasts with the more hardened version of John seen in Yellowstone, allowing Lucas to bring a fresh energy to the role while still honoring the core qualities that made the character memorable. At the same time, Lucas understood that his John Dutton had to feel like the same man that Costner had brought to life in the present-day timeline. To achieve this, Lucas studied Costner's mannerisms and body language, attempting to merge his own performance with the characteristics that fans had come to associate with the older John. Costner's portrayal of John is often quiet, with a lot of tension simmering beneath the surface. Lucas took note of this and used a similar technique, ensuring that his version of John was a man of few words but great action. The character evolution. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of Josh Lucas' portrayal of John Dutton is the evolution of the character itself. Over the course of the Yellowstone franchise, John Dutton evolves from a man struggling to keep his family's ranch alive to a grizzled patriarch who will do anything to protect his land, legacy, and loved ones. Lucas John, on the other hand, had to show potential for that transformation without being bogged down by it. It was his job to lay the groundwork for the John Dutton we'd come to know and love. In 1923, we see a younger John navigating a world that's very different from the one Costner's John faces. The challenges are still present, but there's an innocence to Lucas' portrayal. He's still figuring out his place in the world, still fighting for the survival of the ranch, and still being shaped by the decisions he's making. These early moments of John's life, his relationship with his father, Jacob Dutton, played by Harrison Ford, and his interaction with the land and the people around him, help to establish the man he will one day become. The respect between actors. There's a genuine respect between Kevin Costner and Josh Lucas, both as actors and as individuals. Lucas has expressed admiration for Costner's portrayal of John Dutton and his contributions to the Yellowstone universe. At the same time, Costner himself has spoken about how well Lucas embodied a younger version of the character. The collaboration between the two was never about competition, but rather about building a cohesive portrayal of a character that fans could believe in. Lucas was able to bring a raw energy to the younger John Dutton, but it was always in service of the character and the story being told. The contrast between the two portrayals is stark, but it's also part of the beauty of Yellowstone, the way it explores the evolution of family dynamics, of personal growth, and of legacy. Costner's John Dutton is a man hardened by life, while Lucas John is a young man on the cusp of the man he will become. Both portrayals complement each other, with Lucas laying the groundwork for the complexities that Costner would later fully realize. The influence of Yellowstone's world. Another aspect of Josh Lucas' portrayal of John Dutton is the world around him. Yellowstone and 1923 share a visual and emotional landscape that shapes both characters. The harshness of the land, the constant threats to the Dutton family's legacy, and the intricate relationships between the characters all play a role in the way John Dutton is portrayed. Lucas wasn't just playing a character. He was playing a man whose life is deeply intertwined with the land and his family's legacy. This was a challenge Lucas took seriously, and it's one of the reasons his portrayal feels so authentic. He understood that John Dutton wasn't just a man. He was a product of his environment. In conclusion, Josh Lucas did study Kevin Costner's portrayal of John Dutton, but not in the sense of imitating him. Rather, Lucas approached the role with a deep understanding of who John was and how he had evolved. He respected the established character, but also brought his own unique energy and perspective to the younger version of John. The result is a portrayal that feels fresh yet familiar, one that serves as a compelling prelude to the character fans have come to know and love in Yellowstone. Through his dedication and thoughtful approach to the role, Lucas made the character his own while honoring the legacy that Costner had already built.